Your security cameras are great at recording what happens, but what if they could actually tell you what it means? That's the difference between being a part-time security guard and having one that works for you. Today, using N8n and Home Assistant, we're going to build exactly that, a powerful AI security analyst that automatically reviews all your cameras every night and delivers a simple one-sentence conclusion directly to your phone. All right, let's jump into N8n and start building our AI analyst. The first node is always the trigger, so you open the Nodes panel, search for Home Assistant, and you get this: no Home Assistant triggers available. Okay, not a deal breaker. It just means we can't directly use a sensor state change like we would in Home Assistant. Our only options are on a schedule or a webhook. For tonight's mission, a schedule is exactly what we need. And as for how to use the webhook, everyone can also refer to the video recommended above the video. We'll add the scheduled trigger, and you'll see it's actually way more granular than the standard Home Assistant time trigger. You can get down to the specific minute, month, whatever you want. We'll set ours to run once a day, every night at 11 p.m. Simple enough. Okay, trigger's set. Next up, we need to grab the evidence. We need a live screenshot from every camera we want to monitor. I'll just use 2 for this demo, but you can add as many as you have. Find the Get a Screenshot node. Now, to get this talking to Home Assistant, you'll need to create a credential. It's the standard process. Jump over to your Home Assistant user profile, scroll down to the bottom, create a long-lived access token, and copy it. Then, back in N8n, you just plug in your Home Assistant IP address, the port, and paste in that token. That's the handshake. With the connection made, just select your camera entity from the dropdown. We'll do the same for the second camera. Let's hit Execute Workflow just to make sure we're getting images. And here we go. 2 clean screenshots ready for analysis. Okay, with the evidence gathered, it's time to bring in the analyst. We need an AI that can actually see these images. Gemini is perfect for this since it has a generous free tier. We'll add the Analyze an Image node, drop in our API key, and for the model, Gemini 2.5 Plus Flash is what we need. For the prompt, I'm keeping it simple. You are a security expert. Summarize this image in one concise sentence. The crucial step here is to change the input type to binary files/s. This tells the node to look for the image data from the previous step. Let's do a quick test on this step alone. Success. We get a clean, text-based summary of what's in the picture. This is my standard practice, by the way. I test every single node as I go. It makes troubleshooting way easier. And here's a pro tip for when you're building. Once a node runs successfully, you can right-click it and select Pin. This locks the output data. Now, the next time you run the full workflow for testing, it won't call the API again for this step. It'll just reuse this pinned result. It's a massive time and token saver. I'll do the same for the second camera node. And at this point, you're probably thinking we're on the home stretch. So logically, you'd think, okay, I'll just add a final AI node and drag both of these text summaries into its prompt to get the final report. But watch what happens when you try to do that. This is where we hit our first really annoying snag. You drag the text output from the first AI into your prompt. Looks good. Then you drag the text output from the second AI, and the second one just vanishes. It's gone. No matter how you try, you can only get one of the summaries to stick. What's happening is that both outputs are using the exact same data key. And just like that, our seemingly simple workflow has hit a brick wall. This is a classic data flow problem, and thankfully, N8n has the exact tools for the job. First, we need a merge node. Think of this node as a funnel. It's designed to take data from multiple, parallel branches like ours and force them all into a single, sequential path. We'll keep the mode as the default append and set the number of inputs to 2, since we have 2 cameras. And a quick heads up here, this number of inputs field maxes out at 10, which means this specific method is perfect for setups with up to 10 cameras. Okay, now both summaries are in the same lane, but they're still 2 separate items. We need to bundle them up into a single package before we send them off. For that, we need an aggregate node. Just drop it in after the merge node. Its entire job is to combine all incoming items into a single new item. Now, with our data properly merged and bundled, we can finally bring in our master AI to write the final report. We'll add a message-a-model Gemini node. I'll use a simple prompt like, summarize the following 2 security reports into a single conclusive sentence. Then we just drag the 2 distinct data points from our aggregate node right into the prompt. That's it. The data problem is solved. All that's left is to deliver the verdict. We'll use a call a service node to send the AI's final conclusion to the Home Assistant notification panel. The domain will be persistent notification, and the service will be shows a notification on the notification panel. We'll pipe the AI's output into the message field and give it a custom title like Nightly Security Report. And for good measure, let's send it to my phone too. We'll add another call a service node, but this time the domain is notify and the service is my phone's device ID. The setup here is almost identical to the last one. We'll add the message parameter and again pipe in that final AI summary. And for consistency, we'll also add a title parameter and set it to Nightly Security Report. All right, the entire workflow is built. Let's run it from start to finish. The schedule triggers, the screenshots are taken, the first AI layer analyzes each one, the data is merged and aggregated, the master AI writes its summary, and just like that. The notification hits the Home Assistant panel, and an identical one pops up on my phone. We just flip this switch to active, and that's it. You've just hired a tireless AI security analyst that reports for duty every single night. So consider this the foundational blueprint for turning your cameras from simple recorders into an intelligent analyst. The real fun is taking this concept and adapting it to your own home. Let me know in the comments what you would build with this, or what part you'd like to see a deep dive on next. As always, your likes and subscribes are what keep this channel going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.